is artificial intelligence, Dr. Tirumlesh.
Thank you, sir, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. So, majority of the, in current era where cataract surgery is very demanding with reference to the outcome and patients want a full visual acuity, we should be, taking more care on examining the macula to see if there are any pre-existing problems. So I have no financial disclosures to make. So this is a normal OCT structure that we would want to see if the patient should see 6/6. So the problems can be at the vitreoretinal interface, or there may be changes within the retinal architecture, or there may be choroidal anomalies which will be shown up. So these are the three subheadings under which you should be looking at your OCT. So macula may relatively look normal on slit lamp when the patient might be having an interface disorder, or sometimes even when the patient is having very subtle macular edema, it can be missed on clinical examination. So conversely, the patient the fundus might look abnormal, but when you do an OCT, you confirm that the structure is normal, and that is a patient that you would probably want to counsel for a premium IOL. So let's take a look at this particular thing, this particular image. You see that this is a 50-year-old patient. When you see the multicolor image, you see that the retina is relatively normal, although there is a single small white dot. So, what is there in this patient when you do an OCT is that this patient is interested in multifocal IOLs. The fundus was relatively normal, but what we found on the OCT was that there was an ERM present. Now, if this patient was counseled for multifocal without doing the OCT, you would end up with a poor vision, where the patient might complain of significant distortion of vision. So cataract surgery was advised in this particular patient, but multifocal IOL was deferred. Another one, where you see a 52-year-old patient. This patient had a moderate cataract with 20/60 vision. Previously had undergone a retinal detachment surgery. If you look at the fundus, you look that there is something abnormal. So do you want to give a premium IOL for this patient? But however, when you do the OCT, you find the macula is absolutely normal. So this patient is a candidate where you would want to go ahead with the premium IOL and expect a good 20/20 outcome. So who are the usual unhappy patients that you would come across? Are these kind of patients where fundus is relatively looking normal, but you do an OCT, you find that there is a vitromacular interface and there is a partial thickness to full thickness macular hole in figure 1. On the second one that you see is that there can be a pseudo holes where there is a depression and lamellar macular hole, and the third one is a parafoveal telangiectasia where you can see an intraretinal cavitation. So when should we image? So if the vision is not correlating with the amount of cataract, that's an important patient where you would want to check the macula if macula is the cause why the patient is having diminution of vision. If the patient is having any kind of metamorphopsia, it is very, very important to image the vitreoretinal interface. If there is any suspicious lesion clinically, it is always better to see it by doing a OCT. So documentation of the conditions which are likely to progress post-surgery and vision loss following phase of improvement. Because if you have an ERM, you do a cataract surgery, the patient might end up with macular edema and further decline in vision. So clinical consideration, we can see that if the patient is having a preoperative macular hole, VMT, an epiretinal membrane or macular edema, these patients you tell them that these things are there. Post-operatively, where the macula can get involved is in patients who are having Irwin-Gass syndrome, if there is a posterior vitreous detachment, if there is a progression of diabetic retinopathy or progression of AMD. So on this particular picture on the top, you might feel through the hazy media that the fundus is absolutely normal, but macular holes can be missed often like this. So a stage 4 macular hole will definitely affect the quality of vision. If the cataract surgery had been done, you might be having a patient who is complaining of central scotoma. A combined surgery should be planned, and OCT really helps us in taking that decision. Now, a patient like this where fundus might often appear normal, majority of the times it is missed, and you would find that there might be a VMT. So if surgery is done, there might be a progression of PVD and appearance of a stage 4. So it is better to counsel these kind of patients for combined surgery. So it cannot be more emphasized why this slide is coming again and again is because VMT is the most commonly missed macular pathology which can progress to macular holes, and also the patient is very, very unhappy. Second one is clinically subtle ERMs. When you see a patient who is having an ERM and the surgery is taken up, there might be post-surgical inflammation which will add on to this, and the patient might come back with further drop in vision. So we also know that there are alternative pathways which are at work when it comes to macular edema. So cytokines play a very important role both in DME, also otherwise. And if your patient is having any these kind of macular pathologies, it is always better to inform the patient first that you might have some amount of improvement of vision, but it can drop in the coming days. Irvin-Gass syndrome is another post-op condition where the patient might have been normal. So these are patients who are having diabetes, who might have subtle preretinal barrier breakdown. Once you do the cataract surgery, they end up with a gross cystoid macular edema like this. So we all know that once we do a cataract surgery, there can be a posterior hyaloid separation. The risk of PVD following cataract surgery is a known thing. PVD can be missed if Weiss ring is not visible. OCT always becomes an important tool for catching these kind of patients. So this is a patient where you would never miss because you are having a Weiss ring. Another important category is if the patient is having a wet AMD. So cataract surgery is done in elderly patients. We also know that age is a very important risk factor for development of AMD. So if the patient is having a macular pathology, it is very important to show them that you do have a macular pathology, which is a wet AMD or a PCV. And once cataract surgery is done, you would still require treatment on a monthly basis in the postoperative period. So it is very important in educating the patient and also showing them that this is how a normal would look like. So now the question is, how many of us would be doing SD-OCT as a routine screening before you go for a cataract surgery? So we did a study at NN. So our experience is this. So spectral domain OCT was done in almost all cases who are undergoing a cataract surgery, and it kind of threw up very important observations. So the methodology was that we took 2,884 patients who were undergoing cataract surgery. It was a prospective study. The duration of study was about 6 months. Inclusion criteria was everybody was having an immature senile cataract who would be subjected to an OCT as a part of the diagnosis before you go ahead with the surgery. The exclusion criteria was if the cataract was too much that you cannot acquire an image. So after refraction and slit lamp examination, we did an OCT, and the results were this, that 70% of the patients were found to be normal. However, there were about 24% of patients, which is about 683 eyes, had a significant macular pathology, and about 7% of the eyes we were not able to get a scan. And 24% of the macular pathologies is a small number, but what we would like to emphasize is through the cataractus media, it was difficult to pick up the macular pathologies. So when we did the subgroup analysis, what we found was that 41% was the cases where the macular pathology was detected only after doing a SD-OCT. So different macular pathology groups that we detected was about 35% was AMD, 31.65 was ERM, VMT was the next commonest pathology we found on the macula. So of the OCT pathologies, ERM with foveal contour alteration was found in 6.33%, cystoid macular edema in 2.4%, and VMT with foveal traction in about 3% patients. So 11% patient had macular pathologies that needed a change in treatment plan. So if you find these, you would want to counsel the patient for a combined surgery rather than cataract surgery alone. So there are other studies where similar SD-OCT was done before any routine cataract surgery, and they also found similar results where 30% patients had abnormal finding on the OCT, which they were notified and hence taken up for either a combined management or explained previously that they would require for the treatment. So another study from China relatively shows about 25% of macular pathologies. So updated results as of May 2019 is that out of the 14,000 patients that were screened, 3,428 patients, which amounts to about 25% of the patients, had macular pathologies. The treatment were altered in about 1.84, but considering the outcomes that the patient is expecting, is a very significant number. So preoperative OCT helps in predicting visual prognosis. It helps in counseling and educating the patient about the condition, and it also helps both the patient and doctor to be informed and hence have a good doctor-patient relationship in the postoperative period. Thank you. So these are the indications we would definitely advise an OCT before going for cataract surgery.
Thank you. Any questions for Dr. Tirumlesh? Dr. Shruti will get ready with her presentations. The question is, what kind of cataract you can't do OCT?
OCT. So when the cataract is mature, obviously you cannot do it. However, it is even in advanced immature senile cataracts we were able to acquire a scan, because now we have IR imaging where it does penetrate even through AZ medium.
The second question is, do you think the make of a OCT machine differs?
Correct. So if you have a swept source OCT, so the image acquisition speed is better, and you can actually image even in patients who are having significant media opacities. It is slightly better than the SD.
Any questions?
Yeah, that's very interesting data that you showed about that 24% patients having macular pathologies.
Yes, sir.
Were these patients actually examined by a retina specialist, or they were the fundus? Because again, you know, having a routine OCT for cataract patients would up the costs.
Because,
And so if anterior segment surgeon would be able to detect those lesions, or a posterior segment surgeon would be able to pick up the lesion, would it be cheaper to have a cross consult by a posterior segment or go in for an OCT? Was that analysis done?
Okay, so I would like to answer this question in two parts. So the first part is, once you do a preoperative evaluation and you have seen the fundus and you found it was relatively normal. So the part of the data which showed was that subtle ERMs and VMTs and macular holes are usually missed. It is now the second part of the question is, would it have been picked up better by a VR surgeon? That's the question, right? So I am a VR surgeon, and even I do miss VMTs clinically, but when I have the patient telling me that I have metamorphopsia, I make it a point that I do an OCT.
So maybe someone could just see whether an anterior segment surgeon can pick up these lesions beforehand, rather than, you know, that's maybe something.
Correct.
one
What you're
can
saying
think
is
about
right.
it.
What you're saying is right. But then even combined examinations are, even when they have taken place also, there have been some misses where VMT, macular holes and ERMs have been missed.
I think they must be having some data. I don't know whether they've analyzed it here, but it's a very good point to look at. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'd like